What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to Picking a Fight. I'm Leech.
I'm Jeff.
And today we're going to be looking at the co-main event of UFC 279 Chimaev versus Diaz. We're going to be looking at the Leech, Jingliang versus El Cucuy, Tony Ferguson. Before we get started, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't. We're putting out videos for almost every fight night and pay-per-view, so if you're looking for content like this, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out. And yeah, what we got, Jeff?
Yep, so we got the Leech, Jingliang. He's currently ranked number 14. He's 19-7. He's 34 years old. He's 6 feet tall. He has a 72-inch reach. He's coming off a win against Muslim Salikov, and before that was a loss against Hamza Chimaev. And he's going up against El Cucuy, Tony Ferguson. He's currently ranked number 11. He's 25-7, 38 years old, 5'11", 76.5-inch reach. He's coming off back-to-back losses against Michael Chandler and Beneil Dariush. He's currently on a 4-fight losing streak. What you think, Lach?
Yeah, so this is Tony's return to 170, like you said. I think this is a very weird matchup, especially because we were expecting Tony versus Nate. And to see Tony move up to 170 and fight someone like the Leech, honestly, it kind of makes sense. It is a good matchup. You know, obviously, moving up is never ideal, especially from 155 to 170. You know, that gap is humongous, especially if your body, you know, you can't feel in your body. I feel like Tony didn't take the proper time to adjust to 170. He's always been a big lightweight, but I feel like you truly need to fill into your division, and I feel like he didn't do that. But luckily for him, I think the Leech is a small welterweight naturally, you know. So I don't think Lee will come in being too big and bully him, but I think Lee does have a lot of power. I think he's very dangerous. Obviously, he's a striker. He's becoming more well-rounded. You know, he's been practicing his grappling. Obviously, he got dominated by Hamzat, but he has been improving. You know, he has great movement. He has a great lead hand, powerful, knocked out Santiago Ponzinibbio with it. He has pretty decent defense. I think his guard leaves a lot to be desired, but he is very, very durable. I don't think he's ever been finished. No, he's never been knocked out. He has been submitted, but he's never been knocked out. You know, like I said, his grappling is okay. His wrestling is a little suspect, but his jiu-jitsu is improving. Obviously, that's where I think Tony Ferguson will have his biggest advantage. But what do you like about Tony Ferguson in this matchup?
What I like about Tony Ferguson is his style. I think the style will provide an advantage for him. But I just think it's weird because the Leech, yeah, even though he's a small welterweight, I still think he's going to have like a pretty big power advantage.
Yeah, I think he's just more powerful.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I could see the Leech maybe using that to his advantage, maybe incorporating like some wrestling or like, but not, you know, not serious wrestling, you know what I mean? Like kind of like keeping him against the cage or like maybe go for a takedown or stuff. But I don't know. His jiu-jitsu, I think, is not up there with Tony Ferguson, so I think that would be kind of dangerous if he does decide to take it to the ground. Honestly, like, both of these guys are probably not going to take it to the ground. I think Tony Ferguson, I mean, when's the last time you saw that dude shoot for a takedown? You know what I mean?
That's true.
So I think both of these guys are going to look to keep it standing. Yeah, I know it's going to be interesting. Who you got winning?
I actually had the Leech winning. I feel like
by what?
By TKO. I think his power will be too much, and I think he will be able to. I think he will be able to land the shot, which I think is the biggest question, because I feel like the Leech sometimes is a little too patient and he waits too long. You know, sometimes he lets his opponent go constantly, and he never goes himself, and that could be at a big disadvantage because I do think Tony is skilled enough to pick him apart. You know, Lee obviously is a very fun welterweight, a very good welterweight, but I think Tony was elite. You know, which is something I don't think Lee is. And he is moving up, though. And obviously, he's 38 years old. He's on a 4-fight losing streaks. And he got finished pretty badly in his last outing. And he got finished pretty badly. Or he got knocked out cold. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions about his durability as well. But I don't think it'll be as big as an issue as people think.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to ask you. It's interesting because the Leech, he has never broke into really the top 10, right, in the welterweight division. And I understand it's different, you know, welterweight and lightweight, but, you know, Tony Ferguson was the top lightweight for a long time. So do you think that, like, there's a skill difference there?
I think so. Like, even with striking, I don't think it's I can't even say that Lee is the better striker, to be honest. Like, I do think he's more powerful. I think he has way more knockout power than Tony does. But I can't even say that, you know, he's a better wrestler or a better grappler. I think Tony's better technically all around. To be honest, I feel like Tony might win this. Like, the odds are plus 220 underdog for Tony. and I feel like it should be a lot closer. I feel like this is almost one of the closest fights on the card, besides Aldana Kesson fight, and it's because I think Tony is just better everywhere. I do think that gap is a little small when it comes to striking because Lee does have some pretty good boxing. But man, Tony was a great striker. You know, a little unorthodox, but he could find the shot. He could, create his own shot, and obviously he has a lot of variety when it comes to his attacks with his elbows, his punches, his knees. What he likes to roll, And obviously he's a way better grappler. I feel like he could probably sub Lee if he wanted to, but he's like you say, he's not really that guy to just straight off go with his wrestling. So I don't know, man. I'm a little torn. I do wish Tony the best, especially if this is his last fight. I do hope he wins. It'd be the end of an era at lightweight. But I'm gonna have to go with Leech by TKO. I think he's just been catching everybody. Obviously he caught Salikov in their fight. But this is a very winnable fight for Tony, I think. Who do you got?
Yeah, I have to agree. I think it's very slight for me, though. I thought it was really close. Mm-hmm. But I think the Leech is going to win. I think when they walk into the octagon, you're really going to see the size difference. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's going to affect the outcome of this fight. So, yeah, I think the Leech is going to win. Yeah,
it's interesting because Tony actually has the reach advantage, even though he's shorter. Mm-hmm. Or he's only an inch shorter, but he has a pretty big reach advantage, 4.5 inches. But he's always been super big. He's always been like super long for lightweight anyways. But I don't know. Leech has never been a distance fighter anyway, so he's going to be looking to get dirty. And I feel like Tony doesn't manage distance that well anyway. So.
And a lot of fighters who move up that quickly in weight, there's only a few of them who have been successful,
That's true, yeah. So. Yeah, but yeah, let us know down below what you think. We both have Lee by TKO. No, I have Lee by TKO.
Yeah, he has.
I have Lee by TKO.
I think Tony's gonna go the distance, so I'm gonna say by decision.
Yeah, okay, and Jeff got Tony by decision. I think both possibilities are very possible, and very, there's a high chance for either of those to happen. I feel like Tony's very, very good, even though he's a lot older. I think he's on the decline. He was an elite fighter, and you don't just lose that overnight. There are questions about his durability. He has always, been there to get hit. His defense has always been pretty atrocious, to be honest. And the league can't put him out, I think. So I think Lee by TKO. But let us know down below what you think. Which one do you think is much more likely? Are you riding the Tony wave because you love Tony or because you actually think he's going to win? Regardless, let us know down below how you think he's going to win. And, yeah. It's going to be a great night of fights. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, check out our other videos. We're actually doing every other fight on this same card, including the main event, Diaz versus Chimaev. So check that out if you haven't. And yeah, it's going to be a great night of fights. Don't forget to tune in. We'll see you next time for Sandhagen versus Song. Another great fight. And yeah, we'll see you then.
Yep, see ya.